Man, I'm sorry. I just finished filming a video. I just got home not too long ago. I'm sweaty. I need to get in the shower. You don't care about any of this, but welcome back. Welcome back, YouTube. Today's video, man, I think you're gonna love it. I got a sweet treat for you at the end. I don't even know what to say, man. I just recorded a video so powerful. Eventually it will come out, and I'm excited for you to have progressed and get to see that. But very powerful video. So I'm still kind of caught in the emotions of that. I know that doesn't necessarily make you excited because maybe you're watching this video and now that you hear that, you want to watch that one. But I would just say, man, it's a journey. Just enjoy this video. We'll get you to that one when we get there. If you haven't already, follow Fighter on Instagram. Sign up for our newsletter at fighterus.com. Like, comment, subscribe, and please enjoy the video. Today is December 16th. I've just gotten back. I literally just got off the plane from LA. I had a pretty good trip in New York. That was fun. It was one of my little brother's birthday gifts from my parents. He's a big fan of New York. He loves the city, so this is what we did. I didn't plan that. That just happened to be there. But that was nice. I got back for a couple days, and then every year on the third week of December, my dad and I go on a father-son trip, and he had to work, so we went to LA. Got to go to the Clippers game. Intuit Dome is insane. Really cool arena. They played the Memphis Grizzlies. Got to see Ja Morant play. There's this dude named Cam Spencer, had 27. Jaren Jackson had a day. Obviously my guy Kawhi and James Harden. It was really cool to watch them get to play. Also, we got to customize some kicks at Converse. That was a cool experience. On one shoe, I commemorated the weekend, kind of paying homage to that whole thing. Then the other shoe, I kind of just went crazy and gave a artistic view, I guess, of myself. That was pretty cool. Some cool dinners. Got to meet Skip Bayless. Got to meet Akeem, or I know Akeem Talib, but got to see him, chop up with him. Gilbert Arenas, Swaggy P, Kenyon Martin. I saw Brandon Jennings. I didn't get to say hello, but that was cool. You know, got to see their whole show, NFL Network, that whole thing. So I made my way around the block of my pop shows, and I got to spend some time with him, some valuable time. So that was definitely cool. Brother, it has been a journey, let me tell you. You know, this thing just keeps going like this, up and down, and you know, I try to ride that line as best I can. This one has been a little more challenging. I know I had my first moment the other day where, you know, I just said I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm done. I don't want to do this right. I'm done. And it was a very honest moment. And you may hear that and be alarmed. But honestly, you know, that lets me know that I'm doing some things right. You know, I'm on the right path. I think if there's never that moment, I think that's when I'd be more alarmed. It lets me know that somewhere in the midst of that, there's a passion. Because when I said that, like, I'm done, like, I don't want to do this anymore, I was speaking about the brand. But what I also said was, like, I just want to design clothes. And once I said all of that to myself, I knew that, you know, it was going to be tough, because I've been there with football, with basketball. You know, being an athlete, especially at the college level, you play your sport, but in reality, on a day-to-day basis, you deal with this much percentage when it comes to your sport. This percentage is playing football in college football. You have to deal with so many other things, like whether it be, I don't even want to get into that, but there's so many factors that come into play and that you have to address and deal with without football ever being a part of the picture. And I've just experienced a little bit of that when it comes to this, as far as the branding and marketing and dealing with people, and dealing with expectations not being met, and all of these different scenarios and different things. It is tough to deal with. And even the things that don't have to do with things not going my way, it's just there's so much on the plate. It's what I want to do becomes smaller and smaller because there's so many other things that have to be addressed. And that's just a part of the game, part of the business, is having those other things on the plate. And the crazy part is, like, I'm in kind of phase 1, phase 2, for my vision, for my goal. If I'm feeling this way now, I can't imagine what it's gonna look like or what I'm gonna feel, when it's a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company. But it was a very, very honest moment, very humbling, and I'm okay. There's nothing wrong. It's just I realized in that moment that there's a lot on my plate. And I think also the pressure's on. We just touched December. Not even just touched. December's halfway gone. I leave next week again on our family vacation. We're going to Rome. By the time I'll be back, it'll pretty much be January. Have some traveling to do in January. By that time, it'll be February. And, by that time, it's time to go. And so, I feel the pressure of having so many things to do and so many things being undone, that it's time, like, things gotta start going. And what I was telling my uncle the other day is what I'm learning in this is I need to build a stronger capacity. I didn't say that, but that's what I'm thinking to myself now, because everything that happens, every decision I have to make, every transaction, all these things, they always seem to not go the way that I plan for them to go. I think that's life. That's how life goes, and it's tough. That's tough to deal with. So just learning to have to constantly pivot, that's gonna have to be a step of growth that I'm having to take. When things are not going your way, and that every time you have to sit, brainstorm, go back to the drawing board, execute. That is tough, man. That's tough. Just been dealing with that. I don't really want to get into too much of the behind the scenes of what's the issues I'm facing. But part of this is, letting you in on the journey with my media team. It has not fulfilled the vision that I was hoping. And, I had this realization, like, I've made all the posts on Fighter's account. And, my pops told me whenever I told him that, I'm thinking of hiring this team, he hit me with but Kanye, why don't you just do it like this? Why don't you do it yourself? And I hit him with the you ain't got the answer, Sway. And now I had to have that moment. I was like, dang, Sway did have the answers. Pops had the answers. He literally told me, he's like, son, you can, what they're doing for you, what they're going to do for you. Like, yes, it's going to be time consuming. Yes, it may be a learning curve, but me knowing you can do this. And, I thought I knew better. I know now that it is something that I could have just taken care of, but that's part of the growing pains. That's part of the learns. I made that error, and we move forward for a minute. I can't do anything about it. I can't take it back. We just continue to move forward with the playing field as it is and move the pieces on the board the best that we can to still win. Also in the fold, I ordered these silk rags for our next release, and again, it's crazy because whenever I was in the store shopping for these rags, something was off with the customer service, I would say, but it wasn't off enough to where I felt like maybe I shouldn't shop with them. I did hesitate, and maybe next time if there's any hesitation, I just lean into that. But again, it's one of those things, like you learn, you go through it, you learn. But it's been a nightmare. Like, they don't communicate. I have no information, and so I've given them my money, but I have no information about my product or when it's coming, or how to get in touch with them about my product or when it's coming. They don't reach out. They don't reach out after I've reached out. And these things, they have driven me into this corner. It's been tough. It has been tough. With my manufacturing, that has been a lengthy process of the clothes. But what I will say is, for the most part, they've been thorough. It hasn't been, super smooth, but the unsmoothness in that is getting the product that I want, getting the final product that I want, having things look the way I want them to look and feel. It's not a communication thing. It's professional. And so if they ever hear this, I want to say thank you to them. But I'd rather have those type of bumpy roads, but I can't choose that. Like I say, I just roll with it as best I can. But when you're dealing with things like that are not going your way, where I pay somebody for, like I said, I don't want to get too deep into it, but especially whenever there's money on the table, you want things to align, definitely. And so when they don't, and it's hard not to take things personal. I will admit that. It is hard not to get my emotions involved and stay professional and maintain a businessman, because I'm a fool. Like, my favorite movie is Scarface. I love The Godfather. Our theme, our branding, life is a chess game. When you make moves out of emotion, out of fear, out of happiness, out of joy, out of sadness, out of anger, you make mistakes. When you think with your heart and not your head, you make mistakes. You have to see the pieces on the board, think about it, and go from there. And so that's been tough, because when things, whenever I feel those emotions, they get you in trouble. Whenever I feel disrespected by a lack of professionalism, I can't just meet it with unprofessionalism, because now I'm just like them, whether it's a response or not. So, I'm a young man. I'm still learning. I won't say it's not challenging. It's not taxing, but I'll get through it. With that being said, I have received a package. I know you like the way I came around that corner smiling. Before I get into the package, also, somebody ever wants to donate me a new pocket knife, as you saw or may have seen me struggle opening some boxes in the past, it's gotten very dull. And not only that, because obviously you can sharpen a knife, but the blade is coming a little loose. I believe you can tighten it, but just if you wanted to, I wouldn't mind. The brand wouldn't mind. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to, but I want to talk about this package before we open it. So, like I said, it's been a process. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Obviously, I'm going to allude to it and get to it. But I want to show you a few images. It's been, a lengthy process to get the right product visually and tactically, as far as the textures and feels. But I think we got there. These are just, these are not final products. But in order to move, box a little dusty now. In order to move production along and move the process along, we had to do what we could to get the job done. So, all right, this will be good. Okay, so up top is the mock-up images that I made for the black shirt that will be coming out in the origin capsule. And down low are my eyes. Relax now. Don't start talking crazy, because you know what I'm saying, cell look good, but you know, I'm not here for all that. Those are my eyes, and obviously they're not the best images, but like I said, I just needed something to get the job done. I even that was a process. I wanted to have people take those images to put on the sample, you know, but they didn't come through, so I was like, forget it, I'll just do my own. And at the end of the day, it's just a sample. So these are how the shirt was coming out before, not the color at all that I'm looking for. They're very faded, very like, they look like they've been washed a million times with a white kind of filterish film look over them. And this is a better look without the red stuff on them. And this is like probably the second or third time that we tried to get this shirt right, but it wasn't coming out right. You know, there's been a lot of discussion back and forth with that, and then finally they came back with this, and this is as good as we've gotten to look by far. And there was an issue with the pixels, which I think I talked a little bit about last time. And so this image has a lot more pixels, and we were able to get the effect that I want for it, as well as the color is a lot better. And so, you know, hopefully now, you know, we still have to find 2 people to put there, but you know, at least we have the technicalities down. I hope, at least. I haven't seen them yet, but you know, let's get to this. I'm excited. I have not seen anything. The box is taped up straight from where it came from, so oh my gosh, that blade is gonna break on me one day, and it is not gonna be a pretty sight. Ooh, let's go. Hold on now. I want y'all to be able to see the same time I do. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's horrible. That looks horrible. I don't even need to see that. Oh, but that's this is what it would have looked like on the black shirt. This is the newest. This is the only thing that we changed. What I'm trying to say is this effect with the more pixels, we didn't change on this because they're all different sizes, and so I didn't have them remake this shirt because it just would have cost more. But on the surface, those look a lot better. We'll need to clean up the edges around there. You can see that white cutout looking thing, but you know, we'll talk about it. All right. Let me see. Man, I really like that. Has a nice quality feel to it. I love this texture. And y'all don't understand. It's so much has went into this simple, or what appears to be simple. This is my grandfather's line of tees. Well, that will be. I've been thinking about adding something like inside the hem of the shirt or something. His favorite color was brown or blue. I was told brown, but I remember him loving blue. He had a blue Mitsubishi, like a reflective blue window tint. So I ain't gonna lie, I remember it being blue. But I've been thinking about it. It'd be cool, like for his line of shirts. Obviously, it's the pocket tee, is him. But to add like a little extra flair, something that like you don't know it's there unless you know it's there type thing. And even if you know it there, like you still gotta know the meaning behind it to know. If that makes sense. But you know, this is what it looks like. I'm happy with it on the surface. Obviously, I need to try it on and check the measurements and all that, but it honestly looks pretty good, not gonna lie. I just almost Orlando Browned the microphone, but I don't think y'all saw that. So this shirt, so I like the other one better as far as texture or the quality of the shirt. Okay, we got some extraness on the back I forgot about. This is the front, and then this is the back. And if you could notice, this says the fight is how you see it, but the part that's not like kind of blurry, you can touch it, like it pops out on the shirt. So I like that. Let me see. As far as the detail, I think I want to make off the top of my head, I think I want to make the logo not blurry, like how the rest of the background is. I don't know though. It would be good to have some feedback on that, so we'll see. Again, this shirt has different measurements from the last one I just showed you, and so I need to double check those. Off the bat, I think the quality of this shirt is much better, so we'll see, but we're off to a good start. This one's a little lighter. It's definitely a different type of cotton. Definitely has a lighter weight to it, a lighter GSM. GSM just means grams per square meter, I think. This one definitely a little bit heavier, more GSM, has a little bit of weight to it. So I'm happy with that. And this one is my favorite shirt out of the line of this release, to be honest. Off the bat, it's already a little bit thicker of a shirt. And these are all measured. I just don't remember off the top of my head. And this is, she actually sent me the old one. Okay, this is the old shirt. Look at that. You can't even see the eyes. Like that's pretty bad. But this would be what the most recent, they're upside down. I don't know. My eyes maybe I just have ugly eyes and never noticed. But this is the most updated version of the eyes. This is what the front of the shirt looks like. And then this is the back. This shirt was for the back of the shirt. This is a more storied piece, I guess I would say. Definitely off the top of my head, like want to make some changes here for sure. Like this white here is not really. Here, let me just pick you up. This white here is not even like really showing. It's pretty faded already. But the good thing about it is like the stuff that I chose, this will last. Even though it looks faded like this, that's gonna last no matter how many times you wash it. It's gonna look like that. But I need better than that. That's not good enough. So we'll go back to the drawing board on that. Off the top of my head, I don't love. So the idea, we got a calculator in here. We just finished finals. So off the top of my head, I don't love how this looks, like this part, because again, it's raised out of the shirt. Yeah, I don't know when this thing stopped recording, but GoPro, I am 100% tired of you. And the first chance that I get to get a new camera, trust and believe, you're gone. That's it. You're gone. As I was saying, which I don't know what you heard what you didn't. Yeah, that just blew me, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, that just blew me. I was doing a unboxing of the shirts. What you did see, what you didn't see, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I can't change that. So that's gonna be, I hope you got to see something. But I think that's a good place to end. So, but yeah, man, I got to unbox the shirts. I'm happy. I have a lot of stuff to, I got to get to work as far as the notes and making adjustments and things of that nature. And this is the stuff, like, I'll be happy to be able to get back to this part of the job. That's not work at all. Like, I'm excited for that. Also, I wanted to talk about just the last thing. There's this jacket that I want to put out, but I'm thinking about putting it out, sooner rather than later. The next drop is supposed to be only t-shirts. Think about throwing a pair of jorts in there for jean shorts, and this jacket is a real candidate to also make it in there. We'll see, how it shakes out, and it's not a finished mock-up. And the reason I like showing these things is because although even if this comes out before I release it, my drawings are so incomplete. Like, it's not gonna look, even if somebody did take it, it's not gonna look how I see it looking. So see, I don't even know. I feel like me showing y'all it's not even gonna do it justice, like, for what I see. But I don't know, I'll show it anyways. So this is a jacket I have in mind. So a good look there. And the idea behind this is like it's like think it's tough to explain. I never had to explain, but I say like a Milano feel, real upscale kind of tempo. And at first I was thinking that, and then I switched to Varsity, and then I went back to that, and I think that's where I'm gonna keep it. And texture is gonna play a major factor in that production. Obviously, you have the star buttons. That's gonna be a fun project to bring to life. But I've been thinking like throwing that in there. It's gonna be fly. And strangely enough, the next capsule is called Fragments. And so, or what I call it, capsule. The next round is called Fragments. And so I think that I actually, we'll just see how it plays out. I don't know, but I'm really digging that one to make the cut. I'm excited. That unboxing just, gave me a little boost, something to look forward to. Obviously, still got to handle some business things. This traveling doesn't make it easier. So I got a lot on my plate. I got a lot of things going on, and but I'm built for this. If I know any